We do have a question here from Nicholas. He says, hey guys, he says, I don't recall you talking about bully offers. Are they a good idea? We actually just won a house by competing with another buyer who went in on a bully offer. Are they something that people should be using, or are they as taboo as the name makes them sound?
It depends. I did one last week and I won. And we went in we went in 60 over. It was a bully offer day before offer day. Another offer came in and we got it. It's a conversation. It's case by case. You have to make sure your agent knows what's up with the property. He's in conversation with the listing agent, and just make your decision based on that. But generally, no one's going to look at a bully offer unless it's at least 50,000 over. Mm-hmm. A couple of months ago, no one would look at a bully offer unless it was 100 over. Mm-hmm. Like there'd be no way. You'd wait till offer day because there was tons of people showing. So, I mean, 50 over is your thing. But then what happens is, let's say in the current market, let's say you submit a bully offer 50 over and you just get it. There's no other offers that come in, are you happy with that? As long as you're happy paying that extra 50, some people will want to submit a bully offer, but then we're kind of like, you know what? I don't know if this house is going to do that. And then offer day comes, no other offers. You get the house for list or a little bit over list, or you submit at list price and then they counter you with what your bully offer would have been because that's what they were expecting. So you just really got to know what's going on with the neighborhood, with the house, with the agent.
The amount of traction it's getting.
What kind of traction? Is there a pre-inspection? Again, I could talk about this for days. The one that we got had a pre-inspection, had everything in order. My guys were just like, let's go for it. And that's the thing. And actually, this pre-inspection topic can get into that new thing we're going to talk about in a second too. So.
Yeah, well, I was reading an article this morning actually about how to win a bidding war on a home. And one of the things they spoke about was kind of putting in a clean offer. But the second one was putting down a strong deposit. So I'm just wondering, Greg, when you're talking to clients, like what's kind of your advice typically on maybe just explain to people what a deposit is, because for anyone who hasn't bought a home, they might not understand what that aspect is. So maybe explain the deposit and then how you advise clients on what number to put on that line.
Yeah, whenever you buy a house, you put down a deposit as a show of good faith. Basically saying that you're committed to buying the house. Of course, if the deal fell through, if there was a conditional period, you get the deposit back. It's basically just like, I have some money. I really like your house. Here you go. And it's all transferred towards the final purchase price at closing. So you're not losing anything by putting it in. And, when the market was wild, definitely if there was two offers on the table and one had a $50,000 deposit and one had a $10,000 deposit, it's kind of like, and they're both $100,000 over list, then it puts the seller's mind and the realtor's mind at ease that, these people are well prepared to go through with to be able to acquire the home. But the flip side to that too, it's kind of like, well, does it really matter if you have a pre-approval letter as well? That's positive. But I think it's the idea that if you have money, things are going to run smoother for you, and it's going to run smoother. And it's not really necessary. I mean, in Toronto, I know they do deposits like 50 grand up to 100,000 sometimes to help acquire a property in a bidding war. But in Ottawa, I mean, you might get, I had one last year that was 50,000. Did they need to do it? They didn't. Their price was still well above the last one. They didn't need the 50 grand, but we were happy to have it. And they had the money in the bank. So why not? It's all, it's just kind of like it's holding their house.
It all contributes to their down payment anyways.
Exactly.
Right? So it's not doing anything, but the deposit, if I'm not wrong, if I'm not mistaken, is it's also if the buyer does not close on that property, if they try to do something and they back out, the deposit is held in limbo until the legalities of, who sues who is kind of strained out as well. Correct? Like that's
exactly. So that's the thing. If you have a 20K deposit in and you don't close, that 20K is just held until everything is resolved of how much you're going to have to pay in penalties for that homeowner to put their house back on the market, realtor fees, utilities, all sorts of nasty stuff. You don't not want to close. And the other problem is if you put down a $5,000 deposit, you don't close. then you might be going to court later for any balance versus costs after the fact.
Yeah, so that was going to be my follow-up question. If you're advising sellers, I mean, all those things make a difference, right? That extra, we talked about this maybe a couple months ago. That letter, the personal note. Hey, we're a young family, young couple, older couple looking to do this. Like that note with the personal touch, combined with the maybe slightly larger deposit. If you're going to give 10,000, maybe make it 12 or 15, just to make it that little bit more attractive, because you just never know when the sellers are analyzing those offers with their real estate agent, what sort of things are going to be that deciding factor, right? Like that extra 2,000-3,000 on your deposit might be the difference between literally getting the home or not. So what are those discussions like with yourself, Greg, on the seller side? Like, do you really put a lot of weight into those sorts of things, or is it more just feel as far as offers come in?
The letters work from time to time. I think that they will start working again a bit more now. In multiples of this past year, money talks.
Yeah.
You've got a nice letter and, oh, what a great couple. They're perfect for this house. And then they're at 600,000 and you got another one at 7. What are you going to do? You're going to go for the $700,000 offer, right? So, I mean, now whenever we do any offers, I recommend it. Just depends on the scenario too. Depends on who the seller is. I mean, if it's someone just flipping a property, it's not going to be as effective as someone who's selling a lifelong home. You're going to want to use it for that for sure. But I mean, the last one that we did, I laid it out. We didn't have a letter ready, but I've been working with them for so long, and I knew the agent. He's like, "Tell me about your clients." And I laid it out, and he's like, "So they sound like people that I would have a beer with." And I'm like, "Absolutely."
Yeah.
And he's like, "My clients love the idea," and their friends lived across the street, so it was good. I don't even know if the other offer might have even been higher. I don't know, but anyways.